Welcome, friends. Today's story will touch your heart, a story about kindness, loss and unexpected connections. The rain was falling softly outside Lincoln Elementary. Most children had already gone home, their laughter fading into the distance. Inside classroom 2B, Mr. Daniel Harris, a humble, soft-spoken teacher in his early 30s, was stacking books and wiping chalk, dust from his fingers. He lived a simple life. His shoes were worn, his tie slightly frayed, but his eyes carried warmth that every child trusted. As he turned to leave, a faint sniffle caught his attention. He stopped. Near the corner, behind a desk, sat a little girl, about 6 or 7, hugging her backpack tightly. Her small shoulders trembled as she tried to hide her tears. Daniel crouched down beside her. "Hey, sweetheart," he said gently, "everyone's gone home. Why are you still here?" The girl looked up, her eyes red and watery. "My dad, he was supposed to pick me up," she whispered. "He forgot again." Daniel sat on the floor next to her. "I'm sure he didn't forget," he said softly. "Maybe he's just caught up in something important. Do you want me to wait with you?" She nodded silently, wiping her tears with the sleeve of her pink jacket. Her name tag read Lily Thompson. As the clock ticked and thunder rumbled outside, Daniel offered her a chocolate bar from his drawer, the same one he saved for students who had bad days. Lily smiled faintly for the first time that evening. "You know," Daniel said quietly, "sometimes grown-ups carry so many things inside their hearts. They forget the things that matter most, but they still love us, even when they seem far away." Lily looked at him thoughtfully. "Do you think my dad still misses my mom?" she asked. Daniel froze for a moment. "I'm sure he does," he finally said. "And I think you remind him of her. That's why it's hard sometimes." Just then, headlights flashed through the rain-streaked windows. Lily's eyes lit up. She grabbed her small pink umbrella and ran to the door. Daniel followed, curious. A black luxury car stopped outside. A man in a tailored suit stepped out, his face pale, his eyes tired, the look of someone carrying too much grief. If you were in this situation, what would you do? Tell us in the comments. Channel Kindness Stories. The man hurried toward the building, his shoes splashing in puddles. When he entered, he froze at the sight of Lily clinging to the teacher's hand. Daniel stood there, unsure whether to speak first. "Mr. Thompson," he said cautiously. The man nodded, his jaw tight. "You're her teacher?" "Yes, sir. She was just waiting for you. I didn't want her to be alone." Mr. Thompson sighed, kneeling down beside his daughter. "Lily, I told you not to wait outside alone, but you didn't come," Lily whispered, her voice trembling. "I was scared." For a moment, his expression cracked, just a flicker of guilt before he composed himself again. He lifted her into his arms, brushing her hair back. "I'm sorry, honey. I got caught in a meeting." Daniel noticed the faint sadness behind the man's eyes. He wasn't angry, just empty. As the two walked to the door, Lily turned back and waved. "Bye, Mr. Harris. Thank you for waiting with me." Daniel smiled. "Anytime, Lily." When the car drove away, he stood by the window thinking. He'd seen many parents, some strict, some kind, some distant. But something about that man's silence stayed with him. It wasn't neglect, it was grief. That night, Daniel returned to his small apartment and opened an old photo frame. Inside was a picture of him with his mother, taken before she passed away. He smiled sadly. Maybe that's why he couldn't walk away from Lily, because he knew what it meant to lose someone too soon. Days passed and life returned to its rhythm. Lily became more cheerful in class, but Daniel often caught her staring at the window during art time, lost in thought. One afternoon, while helping her paint a sunflower, he asked gently, "Do you still think about your mom?" Lily nodded. "Daddy says she's in the sky watching me, but sometimes I think he forgets to look up." Daniel didn't know how to answer. He simply smiled, letting her paint quietly. Later that day, a car pulled up again, the same black one. Mr. Thompson stepped out, but this time he looked less tense. He waited until class ended, then approached Daniel. "I wanted to thank you," he said quietly. "Lily talks about you a lot. She says you make her feel safe." Daniel nodded. "She's a bright kid. She just misses her mom and her dad." Mr. Thompson looked down. "I'm trying," he said softly. Since my wife passed, it's been difficult. Work keeps me from thinking too much. Daniel hesitated, then said, "Sometimes the best way to heal isn't to work harder. It's to listen harder." For the first time, Mr. Thompson smiled faintly. "Maybe you're right." They shook hands, and for the first time, something unspoken passed between them. Two men carrying different kinds of loss, now connected by a child's quiet pain. Welcome, friends, and final scene weeks later. The school hosted a small art exhibition. Parents came to see their children's drawings. Among the colorful hearts and stick figures, one painting stood out, a little girl, holding hands with two people under a bright yellow sun. Below it, Lily had written in shaky handwriting, "My teacher and my dad, my favorite people." Daniel's eyes filled with emotion as he read it. He looked up and saw Mr. Thompson standing nearby, his expression soft and teary. "She wanted you to see that first," he said, voice breaking. "You gave her something I couldn't." "Peace." Daniel smiled. "She gave it back to both of us." For a moment, both men stood silently, the sounds of children's laughter filling the hall. It wasn't about wealth or status anymore. It was about healing, and how sometimes the simplest act of kindness can mend hearts broken by loss. Outside, the evening sun glowed golden over the schoolyard. Lily ran toward her father, laughing. He picked her up, spinning her gently, the sadness in his eyes replaced by something new, hope. How did you find this story? If you liked it, please let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Kindness Stories.